Oh yeah, Pharaoh, he definitely fell from grace. He be on TikTok and stuff now, trying to play like he got drugged and stuff, and that's the reason why he damn near went crazy. But he leaving out the part about how he really, got drugged and what the real reason is behind his obsessiveness online now, because it's appearing as if that he done went crazy, but had a whole bunch of stuff to say about his baby mom's Camille. He shitted on her, but lo and behold, once he was at Sarnetto's show, this was pretty much his claim to fame. Now, this was years ago, 2015. Now, if you look at 2023, Pharaoh got all of the bullshit to say about his baby moms, all the disrespect and stuff. After all, this is a guy that made an attempt with polygamy, but the polygamy didn't work with Yogini Ma'at, and it damn sure didn't work with Golden Beauty, his now baby mom of his 2 daughters. Now, while he's not with her, he cussed out her mom's dad, the whole 9. People was like, what the hell is going on with Pharaoh? Pharaoh done lost his damn mind. Pharaoh done been connected to several people on different platforms, people with different thoughts, people that believe in reptilians, a bunch of crazy stuff, not to mention Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross at that. So when I noticed this change in Young Pharaoh, just in his look, he came out with a song that's called Dark Mall, and on Dark Mall, he was talking about having a face mask on and doing stuff to people, catching them down a dark hall. And I'm just like, what in the hell is going on with this dude? This one-time dude that had everything to say about Egypt, dropping knowledge, all this stuff about consciousness. Man, all that shit is over, man. Just know that it's over for Young Pharaoh dropping knowledge, y'all. It is over, man. He ain't coming back. I've had doubters, naysayers, and people that came to my post that said, yeah, this couldn't be true, etc., etc. But Young Pharaoh's ex-bodyguard explains then when he started acting strange.
The precipice, or like the zenith of his,
right,
of his crazy ass behavior, when he started to tweak out a little bit.
Okay.
So I would say that it started with the Kundalini yoga chick. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, this is one of the early red flags that I had. There was some more, in the beginning, but this was the first major red flag that I had.
Did she stay there for a while, or was this like a normal thing with her coming, or she just popped up one day or whatever?
No, she popped up for a weekend.
For a weekend? So she spent the night over there?
Yeah. She popped up for a weekend. Right. And you see your face? That's the same thing that I said. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Because
Stick it in deeper.
I'm knowing that you probably left because, like you say, you got, your home where you stayed, but when you came back and she was there too. So, like, was that kind of, out of place by what you have known of Young Pharaoh, him being a pro-black dude and, all this stuff or whatever? Was that not weird?
Well, yeah, it was weird because, I'm a whole committed yoga instructor, and because, being that he's all about, Egypt and comedics and things like that, I thought it was very odd that he didn't gravitate toward it because...
Speakers, this guy, Young Pharaoh, who I don't know what he does, but I don't know. He's like some pop culture guy or something. Young Pharaoh has said some very offensive things about Jews and other people. So what does CPAC do? They cancel him from their roster.
Long story short, I would tell you that white people were genetically engineered by extraterrestrials, particularly the Pleiadians. And I would say they come from the Pleiadian star system. And this is not to try to be like attack the white man, but it's like goddamn zoology. Debate that you brought up was with a Jewish rabbi.
CPAC, it turns out, invited a speaker who goes by the name Young Pharaoh. And unfortunately, Young Pharaoh has said horribly anti-Semitic things, including completely harebrained, wacky, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs conspiracy theories. And Young Pharaoh, has now been pulled as a speaker. The Daily Beast reports that Young Pharaoh once tweeted out, "There is no historical or scientific evidence proving the existence of Jews or Judaism."
And for whatever reason, Young Pharaoh tends to believe that he was drugged. But his bodyguard, he told me different. He told me about the person who was over his home, the lady that I spoke on, the same lady that he hasn't questioned thus far. He's blatantly went at several people, but to no avail whatsoever has he blamed us. No, I ain't lying. So with us seeing how he's acting now, which is crazy to most people, is like he's a clone. People have said this definitely is not Young Pharaoh. They got him. This is MK Ultra. They swapped him out. I've heard several different stories thus far, but he hasn't said anything about her. Kundalini yoga. So you think they were just sitting up in there doing yoga and stuff? Her on the floor and stuff. Yeah, he got his shirt off and stuff. Him reciting mantras. You think that's the only damn thing that they were doing when they were at his house? You got to be crazy. Because when we start speaking about Kundalini, there's no way that we can leave out tantric yoga and what goes along with tantric yoga and sexual intercourse, sexual role play. Shit. Ain't nowhere in the hell. You know it was some shit going on up in there. I think Pharaoh let his guard down. And as much as what he was attracted to light-skinned women, one damn thing about it, he definitely could not resist this woman. I think the Jewish community, they made good on sending her to him, because after she left, Young Pharaoh was never the same. Now what the hell does that tell you? Just think about this whole situation. His ex-bodyguard, he didn't know this woman, never seen her before. But she just so happened to be at Young Pharaoh's house for an entire week. Caucasian lady, European lady, after he said what he said in reference to the Jewish community.
Dispense to the public for them to absorb, and right now I'm gonna give you the time to do so. I'm assuming that you won't go crazy long, so I don't plan on stopping you, and you can go until you're finished.
Those anti-Semitic statements that he made, I strongly feel like this lady, she was sent. His ex-bodyguard that was as close as what he was to him had never seen this woman before. Hadn't heard a damn thing, had never seen this woman. She just pops up out of nowhere. And after that, Young Pharaoh then start acting differently. I've had I know it's weird as hell, but yes, all of the stuff that Young Pharaoh has mentioned in reference to being drugged, he left out the part with this woman. He never said anything about her. She hasn't been, brought to the forefront. He doesn't have any, memory or recollection of her, but he's cussed out his baby mother, Golden Beauty. He's cussed out Camille. He's made threats to several people, all the way from his ex-bodyguard to myself. Various people he's said this stuff to, but his whole thing was that he got drugged.
Everything I love. The last thing I remember thinking was, get up for Miss Fenton.
Look at Pharaoh. Look at him. You can tell that he's on something. Look at him.
That's the truth.
He's gonna always go back to him getting drugged, but he'll never say anything about this woman, which listen to her say voodoo. Strange to me. It's weird as motherfucker, and I just been sitting back thinking like, okay, Pharaoh, when are you gonna address the situation with the woman that came over to your home and undoubtedly fucked your ass up. When you said that stuff about the Jewish community, that lady was sent. She came out of New York. Motherfucker took a flight, arrived in Texas, went to Katy, Texas, to his home. And the ex-bodyguard was even stating that she was inside of the home cleaning up, meaning that she had access to the refrigerator, his toiletries, etc. But he don't get the whole situation with him being drugged.
Well, we wasn't dating when I met her. When I met this fat lazy. When I met this fat bitch, I swear to God, I'm about to kill this bitch. I'm about to kill this bitch. I'm about to kill this bitch. I'm about to kill this bitch.
But he blamed everybody within, his close-knit circle, even the conscious community, just totally blatantly disrespected every damn body. And it's funny how that, he will make an attempt to be able to sidestep this situation, being that he got cancer from CPAC. This is when it was over for Young Pharaoh, because he damn near had one foot in the door. He was connected to Angela Stanton King. He was on his way to meet Donald Trump. He possibly could have had his own show, but his anti-Semitic statements that was made in reference to the Jews, that's what got Pharaoh fucked up. And I believe that woman that came over his house, she was sent there on a fucking assignment. He never mentioned that lady's name, never even brought her up, never called her a bitch, never disrespected her family, her husband, her children, or anybody. But when it come down to the melanated community,
That's the fucking truth, man. I swear to God, man. I'm not high right now. I ain't sip no wine, nothing. I'm sober as fuck, man. I swear to God, y'all, like I said, man, the best thing I feel like, the best thing I could say it feel like is like I've been hit hard, and I'm like, as a fighter, I'm hit hard, but I'm still here and I'm still trying to fight. That's the best thing I could say it feel like. That's the best analogy I could give, man.
But never said anything about this woman. Why is that? Why didn't Young Pharaoh ever mention this woman, the yoga instructor? I'ma just say, the people that wanted to know about Pharaoh and their whole situation is deeper than what the hell. I'ma just say, the people that wanted to know about Pharaoh and their whole situation is deeper than what the hell that you think. It actually has to do with two women. Not the one that you've seen that was doing the Kundalini yoga with him on the floor, but this woman right here. She was considered as being a guru, and within the Kundalini yoga, I'm guessing that Young Pharaoh, not only was it something that he was in loss of, but he was striving and then looking for love. The lady, Guru Jagat, she was inspired by this guy, Yogi Bhajan, and Yoga Bhajan being from West India, coming to the States. Once that he got over here, he started a movement. And it just so happened out of that movement in 1953, he entered the service of the government of India. We're going to go back to the lady about the yoga in just a second, but let's stay on Guru Jagat for a second, because rest in peace, Guru Jagat. Vanity Fair actually did an article on her, connecting her to Hollywood and the celebrities that she inspired. But Guru Jagat, she was connected within the cult, and one of the women within the cult had spoke out against Bhajan at the time, and Guru Jagat is in fact the lady that defended Bhajan the entire time. I know all of this sound crazy. That's why I'm telling you to just listen as deep, listen as close as possible. Because the lady who said that she was a guru has been accused of scamming y'all. And the lady that was at Young Pharaoh's home who performed Kundalini yoga with him on YouTube, she actually posted a video at the time of the demise of Guru Jagat. Ironically, a month later, she was seen then with Young Pharaoh. The video was uploaded from Young Pharaoh's home as they performed Kundalini yoga. The stuff that you heard Young Pharaoh mentioning in reference to aliens and his 33rd vertebrae being touched has everything to do with Babaji and the divine practice of Kundalini yoga. This practice, dating back to the city of Nepal, has connections to the Rig Veda and the Vistas, which leads us then to the Avatar, and the Avatar was supposed to signify the material appearance of incarnation, something you have to question why Young Pharaoh would have been dealing with a practice of yoga that dealt with incarnation. This is the physical illustration of on what the Avatar is, and take note of the color, the skin, the imagery of the avatars, similar to the movie that we all seen that's called Avatar. But dealing with Kundalini yoga, the spirits and the energies, has a lot to do with Kriya Yoga, which is described as an ancient yoga system revived in modern times by Lahiri Mahasaya, who claimed to be initiated by a guru, much like Guru Jagat claimed to be somewhat of a guru to Young Pharaoh. Autobiographies of the yogi can be searched online, but just like the movie Avatar, the illustration of the goddess Kali, as well as the goddess Shiva and other illustrations that depict deification, may have just been something that Young Pharaoh was striving for. The Hindi yoga in this practice has a lot to do with Young Pharaoh. I honestly feel like that Young Pharaoh was experimenting with energies that he knew very little about. And just like the movie Avatar, the entities that are in fact connected along with Kundalini yoga, they were in fact blue as well. So it wasn't out of the ordinary to hear Young Pharaoh speaking solely about mushrooms, but as far as him knowing what it was that he was taking before that the practice of the Kundalini yoga took place, I very seriously doubt. And I think that his mind has had somewhat of an adverse effect, man, just from dealing with multiple species of plants before being somewhat of a practitioner of this form of yoga. So I get why he was blaming certain people and saying that they drugged him with mushrooms and mushroom tea. I just think it's sad that Young Pharaoh fails to realize the people that he aligned himself with, and over a period of time how those people managed to get close to him. And ironically, on the lady's page who he was doing the Kundalini yoga with, she still has the photo of Young Pharaoh as well as the deceased Guru Jagat. I'ma just say,